Once again, good afternoon. Welcome online to join these special sessions about three major impacts of artificial intelligence to business and industries. I believe many of you had joined our previous class before about how to make machine learning simple and practical. So today we are going to share more actually from perspective, how AI actually make practical and simple, and also bring three major impacts to business and industry. I think many of us will feel very interested in topic like that. So in the next 45 minutes, I'm not going to share that much about what AI is, but rather today when we share from perspective of industry and business, we are more interested in talking about why. Why do you need AI and how AI will bring benefit, how you impact your bottom line, whether you're coming from business or coming from industry. And secondly, how to get started. I think a lot of people might know what, they might not know so much about why, because everyone is doing so. I thought that that'd be important. So I make sure that I also attend all the classes, also ask around about what AI or predictive analytics all about. That's good approach, good initiative. But I think important thing is today, if we are about to embark on a journey in AI, you have to ask why in the first place. Only you know why, then you know where to focus. When you know where to focus, then you ask yourself, how do I get started? Maybe a baby step or maybe a giant leap to move forward on to fulfill the objective that you want in the first place. Then you start asking about how. Yeah. Now I'm going to share about why and how. Now let's look at this particular record. Don't bother about this fine print in the background. But important thing is we all understand how important AI is. This survey was done nearly about 5 years ago by Business Force. And you say that any predictive marketeers who are actually making use of AI technologies are more likely 1.8 times more actually in performance compared to other cross-departmental goals and objectives. And they are 2.9 times, actually nearly about 3 times more who report revenue growth compared to their competitors. I think this is important thing. So we know why. We know why AI is important because it's really help improve our bottom line. Yeah. To cut a story short, I'm not going to go into very details about why we want to go on the AI technology in a generic view. Rather later on, I have to explore based on company perspective or based on your perspective lens, how should you justify yourself that you should embark on AI and which scope of AI we are talking about. Now, traditionally, we know we all have operation report. Yeah, we tell us what's happening, and we also have some more detailed descriptive analytics tell us what's the average new growth, what will be the average profit that we are making, and we will come to a conclusion which products or which services contributing the most profit revenue, why they are so, why they are welcomed by our customer, why our customer like this or don't like this. So we have diagnostic analytics. So AI will help us move from step 1, 2, 3 to the level of step 4. Are we going to predict what's going to happen next? Because if we are able to predict what's happened next, the first impact to our business is we're able to answer the demand. Because the first thing is when talking about throughput of your revenue, that means the rate of how much money coming into your company that help you make profit. You need to look at the demand. What are we selling? The first question you're asking. Second question, you might be asking, what are most profitable? Thirdly, you're asking, why is a profit difference among my different services and products I'm providing? And lastly, with AI technology, one of the very important core features of AI is predictive analytics. It helps us do prediction. It predicts how do we bring customers to my products. Yeah, if we can predict what kind of customer we should speak to, what kind of customer we should focus upon, how we can actually increase satisfaction rate among our customer by predictive analytics, it helps us improve the throughput on demand. Second thing is we want to improve the throughput on our resources. Knowing our demand is one thing. If we can predict our resources, what will be our current bottleneck or constraints are? What are resources? How efficient the output? Why there's efficiency difference among all my resources, either them human resources or equipment, tools, or machines that produce the services or products that we need. How do we further improve the efficiency? That's the second things we want to answer as predictive analytics to help us improve the bottom line. And of course, if we able to optimize demand, we can optimize our resources. Then how do we optimize our input? Meaning that, for instance, our input of energy consumptions or raw materials, whatever actually convert the raw material into value-added services or value-added products to something that customer will want. These three things play three major impacts to your bottom line. How to optimize the demand? How could I optimize my resources? How could we optimize our input? Of course, you said, Peters, all these while people have been talking about optimizations. How does predictive analytics, AI, play a different role? Now, I'm going to share with you more. Of course, optimization, there are many ways to do that. You can do Lean Six Sigma, you can improve the way you manage the companies or organizations. You can actually look at many ways of tools or measurements to help you actually improve from yesterday to today and make yourself in a better position tomorrow. But today we're looking at new perspective in AI. How could it help you improve these three major important elements that help impact your bottom line? Demand, resources, and supply. First thing, for instance, we're taking this bicycle kind of industries as an analysis. Firstly, if we can predict who would need bicycle a particular day at particular places, if we can get hold of this information, it naturally brings to the second questions. If we can predict how many bicycle and what kind of bicycle we need, what kind of customer we are dealing with at a particular location, then we are asking our internal resources, how do we mobilize required bicycle at required location at the right time? Yeah, these are internal mobilization resources. How to do allocation resources? Of course, eventually come to the supply or the input. How do I plan logistics to deploy my resources effectively such that my demand will fulfill to maximize my entire throughput that in turn convert to monetary input. So important thing is today you look at these three things. These are three major impact to industries. Yeah, we're talking about throughput. No matter what, either you're even an NGO or your profit social enterprise, not to mention those profit-oriented companies, we always look at these three things. How we can maximize to fulfill our demand by optimizing our resources, by actually optimizing our input at the same time. So, and altogether is to fulfill the maximum monetary revenue or fulfill the overall satisfaction level on the client that you're servicing. So for this bicycle thing, to first predict what will be my demand patterns at particular place, particular time, there are many variables to look at. Yeah, of course, sometimes a traditional planners, experienced person, you could easily look at. But today, let's say you're going to manage something that multi-locations. We are multis of customers with multi-preferences. Customer with families, customer with who are concerned for mobilizing themselves from one place to another for leisure, for business, they would need your resources different places, different time. You're looking at weekdays, looking at working day, looking at temperature, looking at humidities, looking at wind speed. The whole list can go on for level. So today, that what machine learning can play a part to help you to maximize your fulfilling your demand. First thing, by looking at historical data. I think thanks to technology, today historical data is not a major issue. If you have historical data already, what AI technology can make you this day, almost in an automatic way, is as long as you prepare your data properly, even as simple in Excel spreadsheet, it's able to help you predict the result. Eventually, the whole thing will impact your three elements in the major throughput or any organization: demand, resources, and supply. So let's take a further look about some example here. Now, if you're talking about predictive analytics in AI, there are many areas of applications. People have been doing that in past 10 years. They are, of course, gaining very easy, much more available, accessible in the past 5 years. But in Malaysia, Singapore, and Asia's countries, yeah, we want to make sure that you not just know why we need AI, you also know how we can get started with AI technology easily and also can impact your bottom line in a very practical way. So first thing we look at, if you go and Google something about predictive, you can easily come up things like predictive churn, predictive maintenance, predictive marketing, predicting so on and so forth. But if we further look at that, you also can just simply can break down in three major components. First thing is how do we optimize my demand? So in the four things back my screen, back behind, these are talking about how to optimize my demand. And you look at the, if you want to predict pricing, want to predict customer lifetime value, you also look at demand. If you say, hey, could I actually predict the products and the services in terms of quality, in terms of some of the things that you're looking at the screen right now about my, even my supply performance, those actually involve how you going to optimize your resources, internal resources, and also your supply side, supply chain. So by looking at these three major things, then you easily will know, if you can today, let's say, answer simple questions. Can I predict whom I should market to? You very much directly impact, yeah, your bottom line and your entire throughput based on three elements: your demand, your resources, and also your input. So let's take a look about this typical example. So today we are not going to spend a lot of time because I will not go very much technical. I just show with you how and because of why. Why, then we say how to get started. So this simple question here, like we are dealing in everyday life. If you're in any company, or whether your company is aimed to satisfy a client because of NGO, or your companies like insurance, a banking company, yeah, any marketing company, you're all concerned about how to actually maximize my marketing resources on certain customers that I desire to reach. You cannot, just like old school, maybe you're going to buy the 10 or 100,000 email or WhatsApp, you try to blast out hoping that someone will reply to you. But let's say if you're a company, it's not just a startup, you're a company that actually been 3 years, 4 years market. You know who your consumers are, you know who our clients are, you have all those transaction records inside the accounting system already. You know where they are from, you know who they are, female or male, you know how old they are, you know how long they have been with you, you know how much they have spent with you, you know what products they bought from you. And this thing basically can already convert into a simple model we call RFM, recency, frequency, monetary transactions. Of course, what I'm trying to show here, this is another story here by bank. The bank want to know that who should actually call, yeah, so that I can increase my success rate. So the simple thing is, what if today I'm going to show you later, and after that I'm going, in a 10 minutes time, I'm going to show you later, how we're going to easily come up with a system that can give you a result, something like that. Now, these are major impact. You see, you do not have the way to understand what I'm trying to show on the left-hand side. What does it mean actually left-hand side? Showing some sort of like a table. Yeah, this table is trying to show to me that if I can run the system that doing prediction, how good will be my prediction is. Knowing how good prediction is not to my own satisfaction, it's the satisfactions of the company, also eventually brings satisfactions to the customer. So what does it mean? Now, if the system can successfully predict 81% a good prospect, meaning that based on the past 3 years of your sales records or something, you can extract your accounting package or CRM package. These days, most companies, you have that because in Malaysia, government spend a lot of subsidization trying to make sure a company digitalize their workflow. For instance, government subsidize dollar to dollar, ringgit to ringgit. If you're going to at least get an accounting package, customer government pay half for you. How generous it is, you can't really see that other country. Malaysia, yes, still need subsidization for accounting package. That's in the stage we are. But it doesn't mean actually we cannot go further. If you have an accounting package, right, on the cloud version you usually will have keep track, at least a basic record about the customer you're selling to. Assuming you're dealing with a consumer market, assuming you're dealing with financial sector, assuming you're dealing with insurance company, it's really important to know the next marketing campaigns. If I can launch and the system can predict who are the 81% you should speak to, it serves you, it not just increase your success rate tremendously, but also important thing is another figure you see here. It also saves you time from not spending marketing resources on those 55% non-prospect. Yeah, today time is money. If you're able to save, yeah, your resources, our resources thin. Yeah, company have limited resources. People are working from home. We can't actually mobilize people like in the past. If the system can save you more than half the time to prevent you from doing things that are not necessary, prevent you from doing things that do not bring benefit to the company. That save you a lot. Yeah. So now, of course, more than talking, later I'll show you how we can achieve this in 5 minutes time. Yeah. I'm not exaggerating. I'm going to show with you technology this day is how achievable it is. Now, second thing is now, if we talk about pricing, just now we want to talk about if the system will help predict who is who, what is what. Can the system predict how much? Yeah, because in business world, we are concerned with figures. We not just want to predict who and what and when. We want system to tell us that how much either in dollar and cent, or how much in certain the figures, whether value high or low. Like for instance, in this case, very classical example here, if I have an Excel spreadsheet, even have 20, 30 columns, like this one, even today I'm going to do a website, going to sell houses or cars or any products on website. If we have data information, this day can easily purchase, right? If you want to invest a little bit, you can get customer data quite easily about how much they're willing to pay for certain products or services. For instance, the factor that determines how much you pay for a house, first thing depends on how big the area is. Second, how many rooms. Is it a second story, third story? The condominium is a semi-detached or is a bungalow? And what's the crime rate? Is it safe? Does it have police barlight there to patrol the community? Is it guarded? And is a high density population or things like that? So if we have information like that, the system can easily convert a simple model for you to answer. If the system, you're going to key in number of rooms, types of building or houses, build up area, and also the crime rate, some number of schools available in a community, how big the garden is. The system, if the system going to tell you that it's going to predict this house is worth 400,000 with 84% level of confidence, with the error plus minus 3.2K, isn't it wonderful? You might not necessarily require property agents that 10-year experience sit there to do all the details, actually study about how much a price is. Of course, experienced people does count. Yeah, you still need experienced analysts in the company to tell you how much something worth. But what if you have the system do a first line analysis to tell what its value is? Now, in the next example here, I'm going to quickly share with you, yeah, how we can achieve this thing in a very short period of time. Now, I'm showing up a system right now. This system, you do not have to worry what system I'm using. I'm trying to share with you, with this system, actually things could be go as easy like that. Now, this simple system, right, of course, today, if you want to do machine learning, you can run away with some of the system that help you do AI. I'm trying to share with you, this system right now I'm sharing with you is not PowerPoint. It's not Microsoft Word. It's something like a simple line of code, and compared to whatever other packages you might need to scratch your head, you have to spend resources to hire experts to achieve the result. People that have that could have achieved, people could have achieved between between 30 days. You probably say, hey, maybe I need to achieve 3 months. No, it's no longer a story this day. Now, in this case, for instance, for first example here, I'm not just interested in identify who will be my loyal customer. Because of course, if this is a loyal customer, I know who are loyal customer most of the time. They're going to actually spend money with me, and I will keep them in my system. They are top priority. I usually know who they are. But only the question is, a lot of time I might not know if I have actually new people coming in every week, every month. I might not know how I should be able to further actually market to them. So I continue to speak with them. So I call them. So I email them. So I WhatsApp them. So I offer them vouchers. So I actually give them some reward or discount. These second group of people are very critical, yeah, especially if you want to remain actually competitive. Now let's take a look. Today, if you have a simple Excel spreadsheet, I'm not going to open up Excel spreadsheet and hurt your eyes. But simple thing is, one simple line here is, if you just run this code, yeah, the system actually imported 10,000 records. Now, just a simple line of code. Imported the record, 10,000. The next thing is, this is something that you usually actually see through in a lot of systems. But today, again, you see in 5 lines of code, 5 lines of codes, yeah. There's a lot of automation actually being done. And most of the time, in the technology that we are offering right now, yeah, this important part is whether this one can help you achieve result in compressed time and also accurate manner in a way you can understand, so that you can immediately present to your board of directors, can present to your stakeholder, hey, this is how I could immediately tell you. Now I can find out what will be my 84% my potential customer is, also prevent us from speaking to the 55% or non-prospect. So I can focus on the 45% of prospect that we should spend effort upon. So again, you see quickly when the system comes with this model, next thing is you say, Peter, how accurate the model is. Now, just one line of code, the system actually tells us that how much accuracy we are achieving. Of course, here you do not have to really know what this thing is. I just quickly point to you. In this example here, I get the simple example. I get 90% accuracy. 90% accuracy, that means in this example here is, now a quick figure here is about among 84 customers who walk in, I can easily identify 34 of them. The system asks you to speak to these 34 people. Yeah, he immediately come out with name and ID. He say, these are 34 people you should speak to, and they're sure become a customer. Of course, at the same time that you will speak to some customer, the system think that should be your actual prospect customer. I think they say no. But the success rate in this case, now, we look at overall accuracy, also looking at the people you should speak to and people speak to is 90%, 91% accuracy. So now you're not just able to pinpoint who you should focus your marketing resource to give you major return of investment. You also can save all your unnecessary costs and overhead from not speaking or from not marketing to those non-prospect customers. So now, using the same approach, you see now I'm only using this few lines of code, and the system now this day is so simple. Now the next thing is, how do I consult the system like Oracle? Oracle means that I'm not talking about software Oracle, I'm talking about asking it like this system, something like Oracle, like I ask you, then you tell me the questions, tell me the answer. So if I'm going to ask this system, I say, I have a customer profile like this. This how much they spend with us and what they have purchased from us. I converted into some digital number, so you're not able to tell here. But the system immediately say, hey, this customer, what I'm knowing here, quite likely 98% is going to not going to respond to a marketing effort. You could pretty much forget them. Yeah, move on to another person. You only have as low as nearly about 2% chance that will say yes. So it's very unlikely that should be our focus on customer. So the next thing is we say, okay, Peter, talking about now the figures, the pricing. What do we do? Yeah, how should we achieve? So today, that in a very short presentation here, I'm not going to very details all the presentation. I'm not going to blow your mind with all those market facts and figures. You know how important the AI is. Otherwise, you will not be here in the first place. I'm going to show you, like I say, why doesn't matter to your organization, not to the market, but why to your organization. Secondly, how you get started. So now today, that if you are in also the consumer market, yeah, you say, I want to position myself in a pricing that's competitive. Same thing again, I import an Excel spreadsheet. Now, this Excel spreadsheet is not something like you very funny kind of Excel spreadsheet. It's straightforward Excel spreadsheet with all the columns and rows with the number, who are your customer is, things like that. You say, Peter, how should we prepare an Excel spreadsheet? Those Excel spreadsheet, as long as you can extract your accounting system, you maintain somewhere in the normal Excel spreadsheet to describe who your customer are, how you come out with products and services. Usually, those figures are good enough. Yeah, the system is able to tell you how good and how accurate or how useful your data is by showing the accuracy. But now, first thing is, before to show accuracy, we must train your data. Now, by training data, very simple. The system automatically scans through all the machine learning algorithm. Now, in the past, that people have to manually scan through all the algorithm. They have to understand the algorithm. They have to make sure they're able to pump the data in the right way. But this technology that makes simple for everyone. After you just run this standard code, the next thing is tell me the accuracy. The system immediately show it to me. Now, in this straight line here, we already have comparisons right away. Put aside all the data here, because today here, I'm not going to show you the technical part, but I'm telling you, all those things is at your fingertip, easy to interpret. This straight line is show ideal line. The ideal line of what? Ideal line is between the predicted value, yeah, the system predict the value versus the actual value or the price. So the closer is those dots to the center line is how accurate your model is. So if this model is able to show the few thousand data points that you pump in the system to train, by seeing a lot dots near the straight line, you pretty much kind of aware maybe this system is good enough for me to do pricing predictions. Of course, some of the dots are further far away. We also will share with you how you can take care of the outliers. Of course, because like I say, the accuracy of the model is a lot of times depending on data. Yeah. So what we can help you is today, you're not sure how accurate your data is. You're not sure how useful data is. Speak with us. With a few lines of codes, we're able to tell your data is useful or not for AI. Because everyone talking about AI, you're not sure how to get started. You don't even know you're collecting data in the right way, but we show you how to get started in a simple steps or in a giant leap, yeah, to tell you whether you're having the right data or not. Are they good enough to come out with a predictive model so that the system can come out all kind of AI smart, helping the company make informed decisions or data-driven decisions automatically. Now, in this case, again, I put inside here a particular house with a number of rooms, built-up areas, where located, things like that. I ask the system to show it to me how much actually has to sell this house, also price this house. This one in USD, say this house, I think averagely is worth 21,000 USD with a standard deviation of 4,000, something like that. Yeah. So immediately with this quick approach that you already that you can able to know where you're heading. Now, the cut story short, say, Peter, now I understand I should get my company started either in baby step or maybe I start in giant leap, either by first thing asking a system to look at my model, my data actually sufficient enough, my data actually good enough or not. And secondly, I'm interested in knowing, could my actually database be changed to something that as a machine learning may helping me to make decisions effectively. So now the thing is I'd like to share with you right now, how could we make that possible? How you can actually embark the journey easily in a small step and with the minimum cost that you need to invest. Now in Malaysia, I think we are very blessed, actually true. Put aside a lot of things that actually we think that you go some difficult, not that easy time. But in fact, actually, we have a lot of resources that are available for everyone. If you're coming from organizations, companies with employees more than 20 employees, yeah, in Malaysia, quite likely your employer have been contributing something called HRDF. HRDF is like it took out a very small percentage of the company payroll to make sure an employer will continually upgrade your knowledge as an employee. So under HRDF, and we have this 8-day training class coming up, every day 4 hours, starting on 23rd of August. We have run this all together, eight batches already. Now the 9th batch is coming out. This is totally 8 days, full swing training, and how you actually get a baby step or giant leap. Yeah, 2 ways. Why I say it's a baby step, giant leap at the same time? Because in this HRDF training class, we also look at your individual companies. We want you to be able to present your data. Talk with us. We not just train you, we want to coach you how to achieve your result. Yeah, so that you can come out your first machine learning predictive model, practical and so usable right away. So speak with us, and later I'll put the link actually in the chat so that actually you can try to sign up and go or maybe get a brochure. Desmond, can you go to our Facebook, you copy a couple of links and pay in the chat room. So for those who are interested, you can find out more. What will be the curriculum like? Every day 4 hours from what time? What is timetable? How do I apply HRDF? How do I know my company is qualified HRDF? And second approach here is, of course, like I say, we have many resources. If you say, hey, I'm right now, it's a new employees, my company hire me, government putting a lot of incentive in not just actually being subsidized your payroll, but government also subsidize employer to send an employee for important training, like AI in this case. So you can speak to your employer if you are newly hired, even though your company is not a HRDF contributor. You say my company only have 5 people. I definitely don't have HRDF. Or my company is big enough, but somehow the HRDF front run out, people use up already. And I'm just hired by my company in the last 6 months. Speak to your HR people, they will know definitely to help you enjoy this benefit. And thirdly, you can actually say, hey, I'm right now still between jobs. I'm looking for my next opportunity. So if I have previously EPF, not EPF, Perkeso contributor, the company have helped contribute Perkeso, SOXO, and right now you're looking for a new opportunity in between job. You see, how do we benefit from this? Because you're talking mostly from employer perspective. You can go to this website, Desmond put this link also. Go to this website, register yourself, and if you're qualified, you'll be sent for this 8-day training free of charge. You don't pay the cent. These are a couple of things, and I hope that today helped conclude and a quick overview of what it is. And you know who we are, you know where we are available. So Desmond is going to put in I'm going to put in our WhatsApp number inside this chat room in a short while. So you can just click on our WhatsApp, then you can actually talk with us. Then and you say, hey, how do we actually benefit from this kind of curriculum? How could we, if we don't have a curriculum, I'm coming from academic field, how do we actually can also benefit from here? Do speak with us. We are very happy to help out. So a lot of people have attended our class before and they give a very high rating. I believe you will benefit the same thing like they are. So these 8 badges is about 1.5 months from now. So we have ample time to get ourselves prepared. So we're glad to see you there. If you're not, you say, I'm academic people, how do I actually benefit from this? Speak with us. We are a professional training company. We focus on advanced computation and AI. And those actually who are interested in how to embark AI, definitely you will find this thing a good revenue and avenue, achieve the first step to get something practical and flexible. Thanks very much. I really appreciate you to be here with us. If you do any questions, do send us chat. So I'll be happy to see you soon again in some other. Thank you very much.